So, Jason Levine here, and I'm with Peter Raymundo, famed Disney artist, as we call you. And for you, this is kind of a special tournament because you worked for Disney from, you started with Mulan and you went all the way to the Princess of the Frog in the height of Disney.
Yes. Can you? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. So you kind of did from Mulan along the way, but Stitch is kind of your most famous.
He is now. I mean, at the time, we knew that Lilo and Stitch was something, definitely a special movie. But in that movie and Stitch, that character in particular, I'm a little surprised. He's unique, but I'm surprised how he's almost more popular now than when he came out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So he's a great character. I mean, so for people who aren't here, every single person who checked in is getting one of these cards. You signed for every single person a Stitch card just for coming to the tournament. And then you made these special ones for the top where you drew everything too. I mean, you can see here, look at, those are hand drawn by the actual artist, all of these. So, and then you have some special prizes that you're giving. Oh. Yes, we forgot about this. It's someone's birthday. Your birthday was actually yesterday.
Day after Christmas.
The day after Christmas. Right. So it was 2 days ago. But come in here, bring the cake, put the cake right over here. Just hold the cake up. We have a cake for Peter here.
Oh my goodness.
It's
okay.
Peter's birthday.
Wow.
So you weren't ready for this part.
No,
of it.
I was not.
But now you have to make a wish and blow out the candles.
Okay. Right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So there we go.
Wow.
Happy birthday. And
wow.
a lot of people are going to get gifts as well. I mean,
wow, thank you.
We have these to raffle as well.
Yes.
So assign one of these. And this, the Rockstar Stitch from the championship. But if you notice, someone drew another Rockstar Stitch in that. So tell me about this. Seeing other people recreate your art in these cards, what's the feeling you get when you see all of this and the different modes of your characters?
Well, it's not super new, right? I mean, because you've been seeing over 20 years of seeing different, even from just like T-shirts and whatnot, and Christmas ornaments and that type of thing. But Lorcana, in particular, the artwork it's as good as artwork can get. The artwork that's on these cards. I know a number of the artists, and they're totally A-list artists. And seeing, I think what they do is it's super creative. I think more than that, it's just like the quality of every single one of these artists is so good. The creativity of Lorcana, the storyline, it's on one hand, how I feel about it, it's an honor. I just feel lucky that I was a part of something. I mean, I wasn't the wave of that. I was just riding the wave back in the 90s, and to be a part of those movies, I was just very, very, very lucky, to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the I guess the second, we'd call it the second golden age when, like, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin,
the Renaissance,
the Renaissance, and then all of your movies like Mulan, Tarzan. Yeah. These were all part of the classic age of Disney, and you worked on a lot of good movies.
Yeah, I think it's eight or nine. Yeah.
Yeah, and are there other characters? I mean, obviously we're promoting Stitch here, and you're wearing the Stitch shirt, but what other characters are you most proud of that you worked on?
Well, character-wise. Actually, even the character Lilo, I often say that. I mean, I think I cannot say enough great things about DeVay Chase, the voice of Lilo, and then just the animation. I think I only worked really on a few sequences, but I worked on Jane and Tarzan, and the supervising animator worked on some of the scenes of Ken Duncan's this unbelievable animator. Of course, on Mulan. Mulan to me was. Well, it was an incredibly special time for me in general, and I think the animation in there to work on with the animation in Mulan to me is like, I don't know if it's better than anything else, but it's on par with anything that's ever been created.
Yeah, Mulan's a great movie. Now that I was thinking about Mulan and Mushu and everything. It was such a great movie, and now they're doing. If you notice, Disney has been doing all of the live actions. And they change it up, obviously.
Yeah.
It's changed up from the amazing animation work that you guys did over those times, and now you're like, it's a live action.
Yeah, I don't, but Disney is a company,
Yes.
they have to make. I almost can't really speak on the live action movies. I do know that I think that the movies that we made and the time of that was unprecedented.
I mean, when you look back, people are saying, "Wow, those were amazing." They think about it and they think about when what Disney was back then is they were the animation company. I mean, there
They
wasn't
were.
much else.
I think, and this is just my opinion, but I think that, and I was lucky again, just lucky to be a part of it. I didn't create it or anything. I was just one of the animators there. But I think that from like Little Mermaid on, from like say even 85 to 2005, was amongst, if not the greatest time, maybe in my opinion, of certainly in animation history. I'm up there. I mean, there's still the Nine Old Men movies.
Yep.
But you think about that from Mermaid, all the way to say Princess and the Frog, and don't forget that Disney also owned Pixar at the time.
I know.
I mean, it's like. I think I'd be hard pressed to take the top 10 films of that era. You can match them against any top 10 films of any era.
Agreed. Even live action, you could compare
Yes.
the animated movies and say The Lion King and Aladdin and
Beauty and the
Mulan,
Beast,
all
yeah,
of it.
I mean,
Beauty and the Beast. I mean, Beauty and the Beast was the first animated movie to be up for an Academy Award.
For Best Picture.
For Best Picture, exactly. It was the first one to actually be in the real Best Picture category, not just animation.
That's right.
Which, because I mean, I'm in my 50s, so I grew up in that era, and I watched every movie. I mean, I remember when they came out and were like Oliver and Company, and they were like, and then it's The Little Mermaid, and it took it up a whole notch, and then every movie going forward took it up a notch.
Yeah.
And then you were there at the top, at the
I was.
pinnacle.
I cannot say enough good things about these people. Don't need me plugging them, but I cannot say enough good things about Michael Eisner, about Roy Disney, and Jeffrey Katzenberg, and Peter and Tom at Animation. What they did, what they brought. They made it happen. I mean, I'm not trying to name drop those people because they're a whole nother. I don't belong in their shadow even, but I'm so thankful that they did what they did and they put in place that I don't think we'd be where we are in animation and maybe even in movie history if what Michael Eisner did and Roy Disney did to to put feature animation back on the map.
Yeah, Michael Eisner is someone that you look back now and you're like, he really turned Disney around. Disney was in the dumps, and he turned it around and turned it to what it is today.
Oh yeah, him and Katz. And Roy, I can't say enough about Roy Disney. Roy Disney was a champion of animation. Period.
And the parks too. I mean, when you go to the parks and you see everything, all the rides they do, there was the Lilo and Stitch, there was the old Mission to Mars that they turned into the Stitch for a while, Experiment 626, and
I worked on that a little bit.
Did you?
A lot of it, the Stitch
cool.
animation,
Yeah, it's neat to be able to do other things and throw it into the theme park and all of that. So since then, you've been working on new projects.
A lot of things,
and you have a book, so I'm gonna put up a quick graphic here.
Oh, sure.
You have a book, and you could go to your website for it as well.
Yeah, so this is actually my 8th or 9th book. I mean, I'm a writer and illustrator. I've been doing that for at least a decade now. This is my first graphic novel. It's basically about competitive speed cubing. It's almost like a sports book, but it's about cubing. It's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
And I just you can see the graphics of it. So it's like this. It's has all the, like a graphic novel, but it has a lot of writing in it as well. And it's exciting. It's really about 5 very, very different competitors all converging on a national championship.
Speed cubing was such a big thing. I remember people could do the Rubik's Cube in 8 seconds. They're like, 8 seconds, and they can do it.
I know, I happen to know, I'm lucky to be friends with some of the fastest people in the world. They're at the book release. Max Park was at my book release, and he actually has the world record. He did it in 3.14 seconds in competition.
Oh,
It's
wow.
remarkable. 3.14 seconds. And he's done it at home faster, but yeah.
That's crazy. So explain this. I see a special mark on it. Does it
This
mean
is
something?
no. Well, the Z doesn't really mean anything. So this is this because this is a glow in the dark cube. This particular cube is not. Ooh, cubers. That's what they call us, a cuber. They would know that this is really this is a pretty clunky cube. But it's more for fun. This one, it's a glow in the dark one. We gave these out at a anti-bullying event where I live.
Oh, it's very cool. And like for people who like cards, they like Rubik's cubes, they like puzzles. So this is kind of a good.
It is, yeah.
Extra.
Yeah, I mean, this is a brainy thing, right? I mean, you got to think. Cubing's a thinking thing. Card playing, game playing is a very thinking thing. It's very much a lot of the same audience you'll find.
And we're going to see you again soon in the area, right?
In this area, yeah. So this is a great art show. That's a little flyer for
Yeah, Miami
TCG.
TCG. If you can't see it, they do events. It's March 1st and 2nd. This one's going to be in West Palm Beach.
Yes.
And you're going to be back out. You were at the last one, too, where
Yes.
they did the Lorcana tournament.
Yes. It's
And-
huge huge turnout. They had Lorcana artists there.
Yes, tell us about this playmat. Were you part of the art on this giant playmat that the winner got? Did you do some of that?
At Miami TCG,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I do a lot of it. I'm so sorry,
there was a giant playmat that the winner got, and there was about 50 different pieces of art put on it.
Yeah, I did. That was a couple events. I know the last event I definitely did drawings on, and I did. Probably, yeah. I do so many, man. I'm not 100% sure, but probably, yeah.
So if you're going to come to the area, you can come out in March, meet Peter,
Yes.
get things signed. Also,
Yeah,
there's going to be Lorcana.
it's a great event. I mean, the Miami TCG, the last one it was huge. It's the biggest Lorcana gathering of Lorcana artists in maybe the world. I'm pretty sure it is. This one's a little bit smaller. This one here in March. But it's going to be, again, a great event. You have like actual Lorcana artists there, actually Disney artists there. Look, Lorcana, I mean, I guess people that are watching this would already know much about Lorcana.
Yes, the audience is a Lorcana audience.
But listen, you guys can be proud to know. I mean, I'm a Disney person, right? I mean, I love Disney. I worked at Disney for all these years, and I think that what Lorcana is and what they have going on, it's amongst the most creative thing that Disney's being a part of in a very long time. Currently, in a very long time, I've been lucky to have brief conversations at dinner once with Ryan Miller, who is the nicest guy. If you never met him, he's the nicest guy.
I've met him. I played with him when I was in Germany at Essen. I got to play with him,
Right.
and he's amazing.
And he's so down to earth, so passionate, truly passionate about this game design. And I mean, what they've created is, look, this is going to be huge, huge. It's not going anywhere.
And there's so many artists that are being taken on. It for us, the Dice Tower, we do board games, and Lorcana last year won for best artwork.
Wow, okay,
It
yeah.
won the best artwork category over many other games because the art is that good.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. I mean, these guys, I happen to know, just through the events and stuff like that, met a couple of them, and just you look at their artwork that they did before they even got hired to be an illustrator for Lorcana. I mean, these guys are really top-notch talents. It's an honor just to even know them. Just to,
Well, I saw a few of them before, and I said, you guys are probably get hired by Disney at some point, because Disney's going to look at this and they're like, where do we farm our next artist from? People who are doing this.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. I mean, it's an honor just to be sitting next to some of these guys. They're really, really high-end artists.
Well, so are you. I mean,
Thank you. Yeah.
you can't put yourself down. You worked on many classics that I grew up with, that a lot of people watching grew up with. So you're on that level or above that level even.
Oh, well, the projects I did, certainly are. I mean, I think that. I mean, thank you, man. I mean, I work. I definitely am kind of a workaholic in a lot of ways. I love. Look, everyone at Disney is like that. I mean, that's the A list as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it was an honor it was my dream to be a part of that. But yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm so special as that, but those movies certainly were.
And being a part of it is. I mean, I worked in TV. I worked in TV for 32 years, and I did some films at the beginning too. Before I realized that being a PA in film didn't pay anything. That's why I switched into TV. But I look back, like I worked on City Hall and Die Hard 3 and all these movies in New York, and I look back and I'm like, yes, I was a little part, like in Die Hard, I stood on a street corner blocking traffic all day to make sure that the ambulance could drive through Central Park.
Man, yeah.
But, you know, to be a part of these things that live on for years and years is special.
Yes, that's something that these conventions, I go to quite a few, and for different reasons. A lot of times for books, I go to schools and stuff like that. But people want to hear about these movies in a lot of ways, and I didn't expect. Like when you're working in that industry, and whether it's TV or I was talking at another convention with another artist about this, but you're thinking about box office a lot, right? I mean, that's the first thing they're coming out is saying like, a weekend on Monday, what's the box office? Year after year after year, the Academy Awards, things like that. You're not really thinking, at least for me personally, I was never thinking, wow, man, in 25 years or in 30 years, this is really affecting people's lives. Now, you want to make great art, and you want to make great movies, as great entertainment and great storytelling. But I'm telling you, I have met many, many people, hundreds and hundreds of people, many grown adults who are 7, 8, 9, 10, when a lot of these movies came out, who are now like basically closing in on their 30s. And many can barely speak. When they start, they say they've met an animator, somebody who worked on these movies, to be able to verbalize what they meant in their lives is not entertainment. They don't say, wow, that was really entertaining on a Saturday. Many of them will say how these movies help them get through hard times. It wasn't entertainment. This wasn't just like some popcorn movie. This was a major part of their childhood, a major part of their lives, especially Lilo and Stitch. I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's a little actually hard to even speak because I think of the emotion of some of the people that have talked about some of these movies. And I mean, notice crying. And just to say, like, how much it meant to them. And so, you don't expect that when you're working on that in particular. And so it's again, I've lived in many ways. I've lived the dream of doing it, and it's actually, I was just doing the art, but to see that it's actually affected people in a far more positive way than I could have imagined is, it's hard to explain what that means.
No, I mean, I know because I grew up with it. I like Lilo and Stitch. I can tell you exactly where I was when I saw it. El Capitan Theater in L.A.
Wow, okay, you saw it there? Wow.
Yeah, I was visiting a friend in L.A., and he's like, we're going to go see Lilo and Stitch this week. And I'm like, this is perfect. It's just coming out. And every movie in that period, we're like, let's go to it. Let's go here. Let's go there. And that one, I was in New York, but I happened to be going to L.A. that week, and we're like, we're going out. We're going to go to El Capitan, the theater to watch the movies in.
Man, see, to think that that's how big it was. That was like when The Lion King came out. I was still at CCAD in college. A lot of people went to Disney from CCAD. And I would go, the Disney stores were big back then. And I would go, I remember seeing the beginning sequence of The Lion King, that song, and I just would, I would go and just watch it. And I had no money, no nothing, and everybody and their brother where I went to school, wanted to be an animator. Everyone talked about it, and I'd go there just to watch that trailer, just to be inspired, and just sit there and just see it. And I remember thinking, please God, let that happen for me, I mean, I cannot tell you how many. It was hard. It was hard to get hired.
Trust me, as someone who. So I didn't tell you this yet, but I did graphics for 32 years in TV. Mm-hmm. I did things like John King's touchscreen and those 3D graphics that pop out of soccer fields and everything. But when I was going to college, I wanted to work for Disney.
Wow, man, yeah.
And the closest I got was working at ABC.
Did you go? You working near the Hat Building?
No, I actually worked in New York at 66th.
Okay.
West 77th, West 77th. And I worked in the New York office for like 6 years, and I did World News Tonight and Monday Night Football and like everything that ABC does. I worked on the Oscars at the time.
Wow, okay.
But I always wanted to do animation, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing a different kind of computer animation. One thing I couldn't do as well was hand draw. Yeah. You obviously can do the hand drawing, which is incredible.
Yeah, I tell you, I really was. It didn't seem so kind of at the time in a way, but I mean, I was really, for what my skill set is, and like it was the right place, the right time to be there, because like they don't do it now, right? I mean, it's I got hired basically. Any animator would know this. In the 90s, your Disney portfolio, right? And like, but it was about 250, 300 drawings, like sketches mainly, usually animals, people, stuff like that. That's not how you get hired now, at all, probably, and for anything. But that's what opened the door for me, and that's what I was really good at the time. And then again, to be hit after hit after hit after hit, it's just, again, I can't say enough that it's like I feel I was just riding the wave. Very hard to get there. Yeah. I was riding the wave. I was not even. I could have come and gone, and it would have still gone on without me, But it was a miracle that I was there.
Yeah, and just to be part of it, it defines what you've done, and
it does. And to this day. To this day, I'm Disney animator, right? I have 9 books published. I have a book series with Scholastic. I have a multi-book deal with Random House, and still most people are like, "Oh yeah, you worked on those movies," which is great, right? Because if you in this lifetime, if you can strike lightning, once. The guy that was Maddie, I think it's Patikin. I might be mispronouncing it, but he Inigo Montoya. Inigo Montoya and the Princess Bride, right? You killed my father, right?
Yes.
So, I remember someone asking him, like, listen, it's like 30 years or 40 years. Do you get bothered ever? People still asking about that same line. You've done like 40, 50 movies. And he's like, you're lucky in this career. I'm lucky to have a career this long. Mm-hmm. And if you can strike lightning and not those exact words, but have a hit like that once, like, listen, don't complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
Be thankful.
Exactly, and you've had many hits over the years.
Yes, very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky,
Well, it's a pleasure having you on. It's a pleasure seeing you. We'll see you again in March.
We definitely will. Thank you. This is an incredible event. I can't say enough about Southside Gaming, right? I mean, these people were they're about as nice a crew, as hospitable, as giving, as friendly, as as well organized as you could possibly get.
I know this place is great. Southside Gaming. Thank you for having all of us here, letting us broadcast from here, and we're just very proud of what we've been able to accomplish. This is only the second time we broadcast from here. Could you believe it?
It's not going to be the last. This place you can't. I don't know if you can see how this place is packed.
I know.
Got 100 plus people all having a great time playing. Is amazing.
I know. It's great. And
when I say 100, that might not sound like a lot. That's the capacity. That's what they have.
The whole store is full, and it's great. And we're just happy to have a community that is the same way they latched around the animated movies. They're latching around this card game.
Yes, sir.
And I have a lot of friends at Ravensburger that I've talked with, and they're very, very proud of the game.
They should be. Yes, they should be. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, and
thank you very much.
Very soon.
I appreciate it, man. Take care. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring you to round 7 of the matchup. So, again, Jason Levine here with Peter Raymundo, and thank you.